say, for those of you who are not familiar with WEED, we put our address in the chat, and we are about 400 to 700 women-related artists, and we hope that you will look at our website and explore. We will have an archive of Sharon's presentation. And we're a volunteer collective, and we're looking for new board members to help with our transition to a better website.
Yeah, and there's a lot of really fabulous artists, I can tell you now, on this call. So go for it. Go for it, Mary.
So we're looking for new board members, for young board members who are interested in eventually taking over this collaborative. We're a 501c3, and we do everything by consensus decision making. So it's a lovely organization, and our hope is to support the current generation and the younger generation in doing social justice and ecological art. So if you know of anybody or you're interested, just give us a little jingle at info@weedartist.org.
And you don't have to be an artist. You just have to be someone who wants to support the work we do.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's start with the question and answer section. And you can put your hand up and wave it. You can also put your hand up in the reactions. That's the easiest way for us to catch.
Mary, can I say something? I just want to I'm totally blown away that so many of you actually read my emails and or looked on Facebook, which I rarely go on. And so thank you for being here, and especially my family, who I don't think really knows anything about my artwork other than what I've told them. So thank you for my cousins who are here. And other family members. It's so wonderful to see all of you. Oh my God. Wow, 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 wow. And my brother, who's with my mom. This is like really, really awesome. Thank you so much. And dear friends from other parts of the country. It's just great to see everyone. Thank you so much.
So Sharon, if you see people's hands up, you could start. We'll just all see who has a comment or a thought. It was
I can't see anything, but people could just like not raise their hand, right? Could they just unmute themselves?
I'm in.
I can't see because it's like 3 screens.
I have a question.
Okay, Vilma.
Willa.
Hi,
Sharon.
Thank you.
That was really great to see your work. And a couple of times you mentioned how you were changed by the artwork. I think you mentioned it when you were talking about the AIDS quilt and when you were talking about the homeless artwork. Can you talk a little bit more about the ways in which it changed you, given that you're such a socially aware person already, and how did doing the artwork and engaging in the artwork change you?
I think that I learned from people with AIDS how to be really in the moment and really to seize time. Yeah. To say things when you are thinking of saying them and not think you'll say it next time, because there may not be a next time. So I think that I learned a lot from them. I would say working in the homeless community, I just had an education about what it's like. I'll tell you one thing I learned, which totally blew my mind. I asked women what got them through the day, what were like the objects that they always carried with them that were the most important. And almost all of them said that they carried something that I think is related to art. So like a journal or a sketchbook, or one woman carries a harmonica, she plays music. So many of the things that people carried with them were ways that they could reflect and like go inside themselves and make art. So that really moved me too. And it makes you realize every once in a while when you hear something like that, why you do what you do. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Nina has her hand up.
Nina, turn on your camera. I want to see your face. Hello, sweetheart. How's that? Yeah, is it hot down there?
Yes,
Yeah. Nina's in New Orleans.
it was like 95-degree today.
Wow.
Wow.
How are you?
I'm so inspired by your work, Sharon, especially with the AIDS. The story, Sharon is one of my advisor, and when I decided to join Goddard, and they told me I was going to talk with Sharon, so I went and I Google you, and I saw you work with AIDS, and I was like, okay, this is the person I want to work with. Because I still think nobody talk about it that much anymore.
Yeah. And
It's
you guys should,
still,
Nina's from Africa. She's from Rwanda. So yeah, especially for people from Africa, it's very
well,
important.
even around here and everything, people are still, nobody is talking. Everybody think that it's done. But it's not.
Yeah.
So, but all your work is so amazing. I'm so inspired and I want to collaborate with you now.
That sounds fun. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's what I wanted to say. But
All right.
congratulations, your work is amazing, Sharon.
Thank you. Yours is amazing too.
Thank you.
I have a question. How does your teaching inform you? You know, you've taught a lot, but you're also extremely active in your own practice.
So my teaching, I say, as I get older, every year keeps me really connected to youth culture, and that is so important, actually. I learned so much from my students. It's definitely a co-learning opportunity every time. Yeah, so I never get tired of it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
hi. Thank you, Sharon, for including our collaboration.
Mama, Mama.
And yeah, very nice presentation, and I learned so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else, just unmute yourself or just say hi.
Hi, Sharon. It's just great to see your work after all of our semesters, with you hosting our visual art group study. You know,
Yeah.
we're spending all this time looking at our work and we finally get to see yours, which is spectacular and wonderful. And yeah, I lived through the AIDS pandemic. I was in New York City and earning my BFA when that was happening. And you gave me something new that I didn't know about the phytoplankton, because I was starting to be concerned about oxygen, and I remember talking to somebody and they're like, oh, there's plenty of oxygen, it's not a problem, and so, surprise.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Lisa. I'm actually getting to your portfolio after this tonight.
I thought that might be the
Lisa's
case.
about to graduate with her MFA.
In a very chaotic situation.
There's many MFA, IA graduates here on the call. It's good to see all of your faces. It's been a long time.
Well, let me just speak up for the community college portion of Sharon's teaching and encourage everybody to explore both citizen art and eco art, because they really are extraordinary experiences and the kind of things that should be offered in community colleges and too rarely are. Too frequently, we're forced to stick with this junior college curriculum with no repetitions. That is just not conducive to building that kind of expertise in the community that would be the best for community colleges. However, that said, there's quite a bit of opportunity in eco arts and a little bit in citizen art, and I hope people all partake in it.
Thank you, Leslie. Leslie's one of the, people who make community college multi-generational. She's a retired vice chancellor. Was that it? Of City College of San Francisco, and now takes classes with me and Minouche and other people. Yeah.
I'm Giselle Albright, and this is I don't know if this will be too personal, but or too gossipy. But how what is your background? Where did you grow up, and how did you
Oh,
did
that's
you
a
go
good
to art school, and how
Okay.
before all this?
It's
Yes.
a good question. I grew up in Philadelphia, and I went to public high school, and I went to Tyler School of Art, where for $425 a semester, I got my BFA. And thanks to my grandparents who gave us 4 grandkids a little bit of money for college. I actually had some left over at the end of I think $4,000 they gave me. Unbelievable. People who are in college now, I'm sorry I just said that, but I had to tell you that. So, and I moved to do an MA at University of New Mexico in Albuquerque in the late 70s. And then in 81, I came to UC Berkeley and got an MFA here in Berkeley and never left. I'm a long-term vegetarian since my teens, and it was the first time I found so many vegetarians when I came to the Bay Area and found other people that shared politics with me, shared concerns that I was concerned about. So I felt like, in a way, I found my, political, spiritual home. I raised my kids here. I have twin daughters with John Levine, who are 25, about to turn 26 this summer. So that's some of it. I'm a political activist by nature. Before doing the work in the AIDS community, I was involved with other groups. I did nonviolent civil disobedience, protesting the design of nuclear weapons not far from here, and actually was administered by the University of California at Livermore Labs. So spent some time in jail with lovely other women who were in jail with me protesting, thousands, So yeah, so that's my background. Yeah.
Thank you.
That helps. Yeah.
Sharon. It's
Stephanie, I'm going to see you in a few days.
I know, a
Exciting.
very short time. It's nice to see a couple of familiar faces, and it's like amazing to see your work again. Although I've looked at it many times over the years and shown it to a lot of people. And my question is, in terms of art and activism, the implementation of idea into action, do you feel that there's some kind of secret ingredient to that? And can you speak a little bit to that?
Well, I think it's hard to respond unless you know a lot. So I think research-based art is really important, but I think the research really is embedding yourself like in a community, which is how I teach the Art as a Citizen class. So students, we have all these community partners. We visit them. We visit their sites at the beginning of the semester, and then students choose an organization they feel drawn to, but then they have to go and volunteer there at least 3 hours a week and really get to know what that organization's culture is and what their needs are, and how they could be of service as an artist to the mission of that organization. So it's kind of the way I work. It is the way I work, and that's the way I think is most ethical to work if you're working in community and you're interested in your work having some activist or some social justice effect. So getting to be part of that community. So for me, like the AIDS services community, I'm still part of it. I've never left it. And some of my dearest friends are long-term survivors of AIDS. And for years, just recently, just, volunteer in their building because they don't do it with grants anymore, but they're my collaborators. They're the people that are part of the service works project. So yeah, and I feel very similar to the Women's Daytime Drop-In Center. Like I don't go back there anywhere, but I send students there every year, and students have been doing lovely projects there. So yeah. Yeah, so if I feel like you have to embed yourself in a community and really understand the community and not assume anything, and that the community are your teachers. Yeah. Yeah, I hope that helps, Stephanie.
Maybe you'd like to talk a little bit more about, just for people who are thinking about the process of collaborations. You collaborated with your
I
husband.
love collaborating because when you collaborate, you do something much bigger than yourself. I could never have done any of the things I did without collaborating. So either collaborating with community or collaborating with my husband to make things together, or collaborating with, a Muslim artist to talk about the intersections between Judaism and Islam. Like that, I just, yeah, I can't, I think collaboration, collaboration can go wrong too. Like especially if there's people who are doing all the work and other people who aren't doing the work, people can get resentful. And I've seen that with student projects, but I've been really lucky, and I'm a big fan of collaboration because I think it expands. It creates a third mind. Like it's not your work or your collaborators' work, but it's like something else that emerges. It's like this third brain, this third artist, so, and you end up doing something you wouldn't have imagined that you would do, like work with hog gut. And you're a vegetarian. Yeah.
Andre,
Andre.
Are you
Uh,
unmuted?
Yeah. Oh, first of all, she's left out, Sharon, can you hear me?
I can hear you very well.
I want everybody to know that she left out half of some of the stuff she's done. And I've known her for a long time, and we work together. She's taken over my class in a wonderful way, and I'm so proud to know her. But I do want everybody to know that she did so much more than she actually presented today. And that I remember once we were going someplace, and she announced that she decided she wanted to stop working with AIDS patients because it was too hard. They always died. So instead, I'm going to work with homeless women on the street, with homeless mothers. So she went from working. So she was always doing that work, and I'm very proud of her.
Yeah, I never stopped. I was doing both, but it was like a little relief to be with other folks. Yeah.
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 I wanted to ask you, Sharon, about the metaphors and all the reflections and transparencies and writing backwards in mirrors, all those kind of metaphors and poetic devices or fascinations. Why? I mean,
so I think the first time really was like when I was like covering mirrors, like trying to like think about prescriptions for mourning, and the metaphors or the symbols for prescriptions for mourning in my culture, and I think that was the beginning. And then it just kind of grew from there, playing around with mirrors, and seeing like what I could reflect and what I didn't want to reflect, and anyway, it's just kind of, I've became then enamored with, that way of working.
it's
Yeah.
really beautiful.
Thanks.
It's the account that John was on, gave them the death certificate.
Who is
Hey,
that?
Sharon, how are you? I don't know if you can see me. Can you hear me?
Oh, Lisa. Hi.
How are you? It was incredible. I love your presentation. You always there's something about you that I think about you all the time when I enter a a project that I'm working on theatrically. And you've taught me so much about collaboration. And today you taught me, I love the idea of the third mind, and I'm going to
Yeah.
look into that a little bit. I thought it was really amazing, but I just wanted to say hi and
Hi, Lisa. Good to see you.
you too. It was incredible. Thank you.
Thank you.
One
Anyone else
thing
wanna
that
say
I noticed about the class that Andre started and that Sharon and Manoush took over is that I think the students create a sense of community in themselves, which is so precious and special in a class situation. So
Yeah.
every
Those
semester
are those are the
another
students.
community.
Yeah. Those are the things we learn from our students, and it's really fun to watch that happen.
All right. Are there any
Just want to
other- okay.
unmute and say hi, Ziggy. Hi, Raymond. I saw both of you there.
Yeah, he had to excuse himself for right now, but knowing Sharon a really long time when she was first applying for the first California Arts Council grant to work with the AIDS community, artists in the AIDS community, and we were working in the kitchen of the Swallow Restaurant Collective, members of that.
Of course.
We interviewed with you and met you in another situation before that, but I wanted to ask you if you could possibly repeat the R words you said at the beginning, because
Oh yeah, I wrote it down last night. So
Yeah.
relational,
Uh-huh.
remembrance, but like as attached to memory. So memory and remembrance, repair, and reciprocity.
Thank you. Well,
Ziggy and Raymond were guests on Zoom during the pandemic for our eco art class. You guys were incredible.
Oh, great. I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm interested. Can you just the difference between your art as a citizen and your eco arts class? I just would love to know how you describe those.
Well, the Arts as Citizen is more community engaged. We actually work with these community partners. Eco art students choose an environmental or a social justice issue to work with to do a final project. In both classes, they learn to write a project proposal. That's the kind of professional practice part, how to write a grant proposal kind of. But in the eco art class, we bring in a lot of guests like you guys, as opposed to us going out to community organizations, so that they can get inspired by things. And Manoush and I, for the last few years, have had like a theme, like this semester's water, next semester's soil, like that. So we kind of invite people around a theme to speak to that theme, artists or scientists or activists working with those themes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I hope that helps. Hi, Phoebe.
Hi, I just want to say it's been a long time since I have seen your presentation of your work, and so many of the things I remember you didn't get to. So I'm sorry that you didn't, because they're such powerful, wonderful work. And I wonder, do you ever sleep? How do you get all of this work done?
I do sleep, and
phenomenal.
I haven't really spent nearly much time in my studio, but I think I'm going to have a lot of time really soon, because there's something really not good happening at one of the colleges that I really love, and and some people probably know who haven't heard, yeah. I mean, all the folks that got their MFAIAs at Goddard, like you're rare now, because the board of mistrustees just voted to close the college.
Yeah.
So I'm extremely devastated, like everybody else, but I'm going to have a lot of time. So I'll get back in my studio again. Yeah. But I haven't gotten a lot of studio work done in the last few years, I don't think. Aside from, the projects I'm doing with Nancer. Yeah.
Well, thank you for all of it.
Yeah.
Wonderful work.
Yeah.
All right. Is there one last question?
Can I say hi to, can we stay on for a few more minutes so I can say hi to my cousins and my
Oh,
mom?
of course. So what we can do is let's just say thank you from Weed, Fawn, thank you from Weed.
Kirsten.
And we hope that you enjoy it, that Sharon's program will be archived on our website so you can tell other people to come and listen to it. And if you are interested and want to become a board member or a volunteer with Weed, we'd love to see you. Might even be able to work with Sharon a little too, because she's on the board too.
I just wanted to say, David McCauley, I see you. Mia, I see you. I just
So
feel
what we're gonna do before, we're just gonna say, thank you very much. Let's close the recording now. And then